even though maybe you don't like Buckminster Fuller meets, Martha Stewart, or like Teletubbies or unicorn poop, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The whole point is to get people thinking about how creative we could be and how this would benefit the community that's there. Not just in terms of what we're doing in terms of cleaning up the streams, but how the people there are going to love their community and fall in love with the idea of environmental activism, of sustainability processes. And this fits in with something I've been fascinated with, and I switched to a new body of work, and I have a painting I'll show you here. Just don't lick it. There's this, so for those of you taking notes for class, this is a pseudoscience. Make sure you quote me on that, okay? It's a pseudoscience. It's called constructall law, which is this interesting idea that everything in the universe, whether it's animate or inanimate, in order to continue to exist, it has to create an efficient system of getting things in and getting things out. So the pseudoscience examples are nighttime shots of cityscapes that look exactly, at least formally, like neurons from the human brain, or how all these things have the exact same shape but different, nautilus shells, fiddlehead ferns, hurricanes, galaxies, that kind of thing. Giant satellite images of river deltas and maps of the human lung. All these things. So I start thinking about this stuff, and I think in terms of philosophy. I think of tying all these hermetic cults together, which I'm fascinated with because I don't have to be a guide. I don't have to answer questions like, what's the sulfite rate? I'm like, I don't know. I like their first album, but after that. So I'm still the artist guy, and I'm like, these guys are crazy. They were thinking the universe was a tree, and stuff on the tree made sense with the other tree. And I was like, yes, this means something, And then I think about all these things we use today. Like, look at right in class. I don't know if anybody had anybody in class go like, evolutionary tree. Look at evolutionary tree, right? And then I see all these other images, which is actually this is a satellite image of the Colorado River when it used to reach the Bay of California before we dried it up. And so I made a bunch of paintings where I went to botanical gardens and I looked at these connections, looked at these systems, and tried to relate them and find them. These are kind of crap, but I made better ones. And then looking up at night, and there's actually a little, right here, this is a telephone pole with wires that connect everything, and looking up at streets at night and going, yes, it all connected somehow. And then I made a painting actually about that Colorado River image. And so I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about all these connections and all these river formations, and accidentally, when I was mixing paint for Guy's project, the glass molar that I used to make the oil paint on it, when I lifted it up, there was a pattern just like this on the bottom of it. And so I started making paintings with that pattern. And you can't really see it here, so I'm going to skip a little bit. But all of these patterns aren't made by hand. They're made by actually the same process that we mix these paints with, which is crazy. Like this one here. You can't see it very much, but I'm going to bring this up. So this is the painting itself. So you can kind of see, okay, you can pass around. Oh, hello, how are you? Good to see you. Yes, thank you. So this has actually, let me just, all this texture on here is made by actually just pushing two plates of paint together. You just smash them together, and the fluidity and the makeup of the paints that we have actually creates that pattern. And then I turn it into something that I'm inspired by when I see it. So, who wants to make a painting? Come on up, let's make a painting. Don't be afraid.